Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, TJ Comments and Answers. I hope you are all doing well. In this video, we will analyze and answer the questions from this week's Watchtower study. This study corresponds to the week of August 25th to 31st, and its title is, What Can We Learn from Jacob's Final Words? Part 2. Without further delay, let's begin. Let's look at question number 1. What will we see in this article? In this article, we will examine the prophetic words that Jacob spoke to the remaining 8 sons, and what lessons we can learn from those statements. Additional comments. Genesis 49. 13-15 shows that Jacob's words were not just blessings but also prophecies with future significance for the tribes of Israel. This teaches that each son's decisions would have a lasting impact on their descendants. Genesis 49. 16-17 highlights that some prophecies included warnings about specific challenges or behaviors. This reminds us that Jehovah reveals what is necessary for his people to be spiritually prepared for what lies ahead. Let's move on to the first subtitle, Zebulun. Question number 2. What did Jacob prophesy about Zebulun, and how were his words fulfilled? Genesis 49:13, see also the box. Jacob prophesied that the descendants of Zebulun would live near the sea and have access to maritime trade. This was fulfilled when the tribe inherited land between the Sea of Galilee and the Mediterranean Sea, allowing them to engage in commercial activities. Additional comments. Genesis 49:13 indicates that Zebulun's location would be oriented toward trade. This highlights how Jehovah can place his people in strategic locations so they can fulfill a purpose and prosper in harmony with his will. Deuteronomy 33:18 shows that their geographical situation would be a source of joy. This teaches that Jehovah's blessings can include material and economic opportunities which, when managed well, contribute to the overall well-being of his people. Question number 3. What will help us not lose our joy? To avoid losing our joy, we need to be content with what we have and focus on positive things instead of dwelling on what we lack. Additional comments. Psalm 16:6 reminds us that contentment comes from valuing what we have already received. This protects us from frustration and helps us maintain a grateful attitude, even when our circumstances are not ideal. Galatians 6:4 emphasizes the importance of evaluating our own blessings without comparing ourselves to others. This approach prevents envy and fosters inner peace, which reinforces our daily joy. Let's move on to the second subtitle, Issachar. Question number 4. What did Jacob predict about Issachar, and how were his words fulfilled? Genesis 49:14-15, see also the box. Jacob predicted that Issachar would be hardworking and live in fertile land. This was fulfilled when the tribe inherited productive territory near the Jordan River, where they worked hard and helped others when needed. Additional comments. Genesis 49. 14 to 15 describes Issachar as strong and willing to bear burdens. This teaches that steady effort and a willingness to work hard can bring stability and benefits both personally and to the community. Judges 5:15 shows that the tribe of Issachar not only focused on their fertile land but also supported just causes. This reminds us that our blessings should be put to the service of others and Jehovah's work. Question number 5. Why is it important to work hard for Jehovah? It is important to work hard for Jehovah because He values our efforts, and these strengthen and protect the congregation, helping us all to maintain a good relationship with Him. Additional comments. Ecclesiastes 2:24 shows that finding satisfaction in the work we do for Jehovah brings joy and meaning to our lives. This means that spiritual effort not only benefits others but also fills our own hearts with joy. 1 Timothy 5:17 highlights the dedication of those who teach and encourage the congregation. This reminds us that our hard work, whether visible or not, contributes to collective spiritual strengthening and is of great value to God. Let's move on to the third subtitle, Dan. Question number 6. What mission did the tribe of Dan receive? Genesis 49:17-18, see also the box. The tribe of Dan was assigned to protect Israel from the rear as they entered the Promised Land, bravely confronting possible enemies. Additional comments. Genesis 49:17-18 shows that although their work was not visible to everyone, it was essential for the nation's safety. This teaches that in the congregation, even the least visible tasks have great value before Jehovah. Numbers 10:25 highlights that Dan protected the people from behind. This reminds us that true courage is not always in what is seen but in faithfully fulfilling the responsibility given to us, even if it goes unnoticed. Question number 7. Whenever we do something for Jehovah, what should we remember? We should remember that Jehovah sees and values everything we do for Him, even tasks that others do not notice, because what matters is doing it out of love, not for praise. Additional comments. Matthew 6:1-4 teaches that our works should be motivated by the desire to please Jehovah and not by human approval. This ensures that our reward comes from God, not from men. This principle helps us maintain a humble and steady attitude in our service. When we remember that Jehovah observes even what no one else sees, we find motivation to keep contributing without seeking external recognition. Let's move on to the fourth subtitle, GAD. Question number 8. Why was the tribe of Gad exposed to attacks in the Promised Land? Genesis 49 verse 19, see also the box. The tribe of Gad was exposed to attacks because it inherited land east of the Jordan River, near several enemy nations, making it a frequent target. Additional comments. Numbers 32:1-5 shows that Gad chose that land because it was good for livestock, even knowing it was risky. This teaches that trusting in Jehovah can involve brave decisions that require faith and sacrifice. Joshua 1-4 highlights that Jehovah blessed their courage and willingness to support other tribes while leaving their families under his protection. This reminds us that cooperation and sacrifice for God's people never go unnoticed. Question number 9. If we trust in Jehovah, what will we be willing to do? If we trust in Jehovah, we will be willing to make sacrifices and take on responsibilities that benefit his people, confident that he will care for us. Additional comments. Psalm 37. 3 encourages us to trust and act with faith, even in difficult situations. This shows that true trust is reflected in practical decisions that put Jehovah's interests first. Psalm 23. 1 assures us that Jehovah provides what is necessary. This promise motivates many to move or take on new tasks, trusting that he will never leave them unattended while they do his will. Let's move on to the 5th subtitle, Asher. Question number 10. What mistake did the tribe of Asher make? Genesis 49:20, see also the box. The tribe of Asher failed to drive out the Canaanites from their territory, allowing their negative influence, and this, combined with their economic prosperity, caused them to lose enthusiasm in their service to Jehovah. Additional comments. Deuteronomy 33:24 shows that Asher received fertile and prosperous land, but this abundance became a test. This teaches that prosperity can be either a blessing or a spiritual obstacle depending on our attitude. Judges 5:17 shows that Asher remained passive when their support was needed. This reminds us that failing to act at key moments can cause us to miss opportunities to see Jehovah's intervention. Question number 11. Why should we not give material things more importance than they deserve? We should not give too much importance to material things because they can distract us from serving Jehovah fully and make us lose sight of what truly has lasting value. Additional comments. Proverbs 18:11 warns that riches can give a false sense of security. This teaches us that relying on material wealth is fragile and does not offer real protection in difficult times. Hebrews 13:5 stresses the importance of being free from the love of money. This reminds us that true contentment comes from trusting that Jehovah will provide what we need, not from accumulating possessions. Let's move on to the 6th subtitle, Naphtali. Question number 12. How was Jacob's prophecy about Naphtali fulfilled? Genesis 49:21, see also the box. The prophecy about Naphtali was fulfilled when his territory became connected with Jesus' ministry, as he taught there with beautiful words that enlightened the people. Additional comments. Matthew 4:13 shows that Jesus lived and taught in Capernaum, within Naphtali's territory. This teaches that the geographical location played a key role in enabling many to receive the light of his teachings. John 1:9 emphasizes that Jesus was the light who enlightened everyone through his message. This reminds us that the true beauty of words comes from teaching truths that build up and guide people toward Jehovah. Question number 13. If we want to please Jehovah, what must we do? To please Jehovah, we must always speak the truth, encourage others with our words, and strive to use our speech for constructive and upbuilding purposes. Additional comments. Psalm 15. 1-2 shows that speaking the truth is an essential quality to remain close to Jehovah. This teaches that sincerity in our words reflects the purity of our heart. Ephesians 4:29 emphasizes that our words should build up, not tear down. This reminds us that the power of the tongue can either strengthen or weaken someone's faith, so we must use it for a positive purpose. Let's move on to the 7th subtitle, Joseph. Question number 14. How was Jacob's prophecy about Joseph fulfilled? Genesis 49:22-26. See also the box. The prophecy was fulfilled when Joseph received the birthright, and his 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, became 2 tribes that inherited portions of land in Israel. Additional comments. Genesis 48:5-6 shows that Jacob adopted Joseph's sons to give them an inheritance as tribes. This teaches that Jehovah's blessings can extend to future generations because of a servant's faithfulness. 1 Chronicles 5:1-2 confirms that Joseph received the double portion that Reuben lost. This reminds us that obedience and loyalty can bring rewards that go beyond one's natural birth position. Question number 15. What did Joseph do when he suffered injustices? When he suffered injustices, Joseph did not harbor resentment toward his brothers or toward Jehovah. Instead, he remained firm, trusted in God, forgave them, and treated them kindly. Additional comments. Genesis 49:24 shows that Joseph remained strong because of his trust in Jehovah. This teaches that spiritual strength comes from relying on God during difficult times, not on external circumstances. Psalm 105:17-19 indicates that trials refine Joseph's character. This reminds us that injustices can become tools for our growth if we maintain a faithful and forgiving attitude. Question number 16. How can we imitate Joseph's example when facing hardships? We can imitate Joseph by staying close to Jehovah and our brothers during hardships, learning from them, and cultivating qualities such as mercy and forgiveness. Additional comments. Hebrews 12:7 shows that trials can be a form of discipline from Jehovah to strengthen us spiritually. This teaches that difficult moments serve a formative purpose in our Christian life. Hebrews 12:11 indicates that discipline produces peaceful fruit in those who accept it. This reminds us that endurance and the right attitude during trials can bring future blessings and greater spiritual maturity. Let's move on to the 8th subtitle, Benjamin. Question number 17. How was Jacob's prophecy about Benjamin fulfilled? Genesis 49:27, see also the box. The prophecy was fulfilled when the tribe of Benjamin became known for its bravery, first with King Saul in fighting the Philistines, and later with Esther and Mordecai in saving the people from destruction. Additional comments. Judges 20:15 16 shows that Benjamin was a tribe of skilled and brave warriors. This teaches that Jehovah can use the abilities of his people to protect and defend his purposes. Esther 8:3 highlights how Mordecai and Esther, both Benjamites, acted courageously to save their nation. This reminds us that faith and courage can make a great difference in critical moments. Question number 18. How can we imitate the loyalty of the tribe of Benjamin? We can imitate the loyalty of the tribe of Benjamin by supporting those whom Jehovah has appointed to lead his people, even when there are changes that require adaptation. Additional comments. 2 Samuel 3:17-19 shows that Benjamin accepted David's authority even though he was not from their tribe. This teaches that true loyalty is shown by supporting Jehovah's decisions even if they require personal adjustments. 1 Thessalonians 5:12 emphasizes the importance of respecting and supporting those taking the lead. This reminds us that loyalty to Jehovah is also reflected in how we respond to the guidance he provides through his servants. Question number 19. What have we learned from what Jacob prophesied on his deathbed? We have learned that God's prophecies are always fulfilled and that by analyzing them, we better understand how to live in a way that pleases Jehovah and strengthens our faith. Additional comments. Genesis 49:28, context of the blessings, shows that each prophecy had a specific purpose for each son. This teaches that Jehovah deals with his people individually and justly, assigning blessings according to his will. Remembering the fulfillment of these prophecies strengthens our trust in God's future promises. This motivates us to live faithfully now, confident that what Jehovah has said, he will fulfill in his due time. Now we will answer the review questions titled, What do we learn from what Jacob said to some of his sons? Question 1. Zebulun, Issachar, and Dan. We learn that Zebulun used his strategic position to contribute to trade and the well-being of his people, teaching us to make the most of our circumstances to better serve Jehovah. Issachar stood out for his hard work and willingness to help others, showing us the value of constant effort for the congregation. Dan fulfilled his protective role from the rear, teaching us that even the less visible services are important and valuable in God's eyes. Question 2. Gad, Asher, and Naphtali. Gad showed courage by settling in an exposed area and still supporting the other tribes, encouraging us to make sacrifices, trusting that Jehovah will care for us. Asher enjoyed material abundance, but his lack of action cost him blessings, teaching us not to let prosperity cool our spiritual zeal. Naphtali is associated with the beautiful words of Jesus, reminding us that we can enlighten others through constructive and truthful communication. Question 3. Joseph and Benjamin. Joseph endured injustices, forgave, and remained faithful, making him a valuable instrument in Jehovah's hands. This teaches us to remain steadfast and forgiving in adversity. Benjamin showed loyalty in key moments of Israel's history and was used to protect God's people, motivating us to faithfully support divine guidance, even when it involves major changes. Well, these have been the answers for this week's Watchtower study. I hope they are very helpful to you, my dear brothers and sisters. We will see each other next week with a new video. I send you a warm hug, and may Jehovah bless and protect you always.